Okay, let's get going with questions with Anthony Dasher and Mark Weiser.
Hey, Coach. I was just wondering how much were you looking forward to this game from the standpoint of knowing you would be facing the most physical team, the most, the biggest front line you guys have seen to date, and how do you think y'all respond to that challenge?
Well, you want the honest truth, or you want
I
the
want the honest truth.
Okay, the honest truth is I was scared to death, and because we hadn't played a team like this, and we've been through different games, but we certainly knew that the competitiveness, the strength, the length, how good they are was going to definitely be a test. But I felt good throughout the day because we had a solid week. There were some days that were really good, like yesterday's practice was excellent. Thursday's not so much. There were a few times where I thought we were practicing like we were 5-0, rather than coming in here and really getting ready to go against somebody that is highly competitive and one of the better teams in their league and a household name when it comes to basketball tradition. So I loved our energy today. I thought our walkthrough was really good. The warm-up, the coaches were raving about it, and we came out with great spirit and energy. And it's always risky when you've had the last couple of weeks that they've had academically with all the stress and anxiety and pressure they feel to do well there and to get those things done and to still come out and be connected like they were in basketball. So I was really, really proud of their effort.
Tom, what did your team show you tonight that maybe they didn't in the first 5 games because of the level of competition that you went against?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to really think about that. I was just happy with the way that we competed. I liked the way that we scored in the first half. We got out and attacked. I would just say, in answer to the question, that they really rose to the level of the competition, and it wasn't us just matching their energy and toughness. We brought our energy and toughness, and I think that's the biggest thing. But I mean, the mentality our team has got to be. It's not about winning streaks. It's about getting on a 1-game winning streak. As corny as that sounds, that's how you have to train your minds to think, and that's what we've got to continue to learn to do.
Let's go to Andy Walsh and Ryan Curley.
Hey, Coach. There was a moment I think it was in the first half when, Tommie ran the floor, finished off a layup, and then went back down and drew a charge. How good was it to have him back on the floor tonight?
I thought he showed. I tell you, that's a great question, because I think what he showed is that these guys feel, your better players, the players have got to feel impacted by, inspired by, and they've got to feel safe with, like they feel better because they're on the floor. And I think tonight, Tommie showed that. We certainly missed him last week. There's no doubt about that. And you take Tommie out of the equation and you take the fact that we went 19 of 31 from the foul line. That's a lot with that game. We were fortunate to win it. But you bring him back and he raises the level of everybody because how hard he plays. I mean, he had 11 deflections tonight, and that's 3 under his average. And Severe had 14, which is a high for him. Justin Carr had 12, and we had 58 deflections in the game. I mean, Tommie leads the way with that type of stuff. And when you've got that kind of length and the fact of what he's doing strength-wise, and he's really only had with live contact, yesterday was the only day and all week long. So for him to come out and play that way against a physical, aggressive team like Cincinnati, I think said a lot.
Hey, Coach, how did you feel that your team stepped up to the challenge of playing a bigger and more physical team? I mean, they had a 7'1" player in the starting lineup, and Tommie at 6'8" is the tallest guy in your starting lineup. How do you feel they stepped up to that challenge?
I think they stepped up well, and I think it's got to be something that we've got. That's why we have to keep improving, because we're going to see this every night. And if you'd have told me at the beginning of the night that we were going to win the game with 83 points and PJ Horn and Andrew Garcia would combine for 4 points, I wouldn't have bought any stock in that. I wouldn't have thought that's going to happen. But we did. But you know what? We don't win the game without the way those guys defended. We don't win the game without their physical aggressiveness. We don't win the game without their presence. And that's how it's got to be for us. I mean, we had 4 guys in double figures, 1 guy at 9. And as I say to this team, and any given night, there's going to be 4, 5, 6 guys in double figures, and it could be almost anybody on this team right now. And so bottom line is we've got to meet the challenge defensively And if we do that and we meet the challenge defensively and on the glass, then we've got a chance to get our running game going, and then our speed is pretty good. And so when we get that, and we made adjustments today. What I'm most proud of with these guys is we've made some adjustments over the last 2 days, and even in walkthrough today, we made some adjustments in how we wanted to attack, and they came out and did a really good job with that. We made defensive adjustments yesterday, and we made some offensive adjustments this afternoon in a 1 hour walkthrough. Probably 20, 25 minutes of it spent on offense, and they came out and they executed. So that's how we have to be. We have to have a collective mindset of toughness, togetherness, and commitment every day to be successful.
Let's go to Mike Griffith and then Torrey Heck.
Yeah, Coach, just as far as measuring stick game in a sense, and what do you want to see now? I mean, I know you say getting better every day, and it's easy to speak in generalities, but specifically, where do you think you need to get better, sharper before the start of the SEC season?
Well, as a coach, they're not generalities, though. See, that's the thing is, like, there's not one thing that I would say we're doing a great job of, and that's where the improvement comes in. Can we? And again, it's going to be a short turnaround, so I don't think we're going to spend a lot of time on the mistakes we made, but the improvement becomes in decision making. The improvement becomes in creating passing angles. It comes in finishing. It comes in making sure that we're not settling for jump shots and getting the ball reversed 2-3 times in a possession. So there's always going to be a litany of things. And as a coach, a good team never arrives, and a coach is never satisfied. I mean, you're just looking for more things. Now, proud of their effort and really looking at the competitiveness of tonight and being really proud of that, no question. But we've got to turn around and get better, and we can't have a letdown. And we can't have a letdown at all. If Tyson Walker plays, which the information we're getting is that he will. He got hit the other day in the game. They play tomorrow, then they play us on Tuesday. He's going to be one of the better point guards we'll face. I mean, it doesn't matter who we play, right? So every night there's a different challenge. And the thing you have to do as a coach every day is make sure they understand to meet those challenges, the improvement cannot waver. And I know I spend a lot of time trying to get better at a lot of stuff, and sometimes you can't do that, but we better make sure we understand what we do have to get better at. And we got a short period of time to get ready for it. And then it's even going to be shorter once the SEC hits.
Troy, you have a question?
Yes, sorry, I couldn't get my screen unmuted fast enough. My bad. Coach, you obviously have a mix of leaders of all ages on this team. What do you think the benefits of that are for you?
I told Ty Fagan after the game, like, we could really feel his presence of leadership the last couple of days in practice. And I thought he played that way. He missed a double-double by 1 rebound. I think the fact that Severe, Justin, and Andrew live together is a good thing. I think the fact that PJ Horn has been coached so well and has been a winner, and especially with what he did in high school and at Virginia Tech, he's been a winner. I just think we have a melting pot, right? And that's what most teams are. And as these rules continue to change and college sports, and in our case, college basketball continues to change, it's really, really important that players come in and they find their voice, that they can back up their voice, and that they'll listen to another voice. And when you do those things, now you've got a chance to build the most important thing any team can have, which is a mutual respect. Because everybody wants to achieve, everybody wants to score, everybody wants to get to the next level. This team will not have anybody reach a high level of success if this team isn't balanced, because we're not built that way. And if we continue to build on that and enjoy watching our teammates have success, then we'll get better. And my job as a coach is to keep reiterating that, enforcing that, looking for that, praising it, and not be afraid to absolutely go after it if I don't see it. And that's when you've got good leadership, usually you're preaching to the choir. And if you can get that done, then you've got a chance to take steps. And that's, it's still very, very early in the season. We've got to continue to learn a lot about that.
Thanks, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take our last question from Jed May.
Hey, Coach, you guys went on that huge run there at the end of the first half. Just what allowed that to snowball? It seemed like there was a lot of energy coming from the bench, especially during that time. Just sort of what led to that huge run? And then quickly as a follow-up, I noticed Michael Starks didn't play tonight. Sort of what is he dealing with?
Sure. I thought our bench energy was tremendous because my biggest complaint after last week's game was our bench energy. And we've got to create our bench energy, our verbal energy. We've got to be connected. Now, with that being said, I thought our crowd was really good last week, and I thought it was even that much better tonight. I mean, to have our students come out like that when they don't have to be in town, all right, and exams are over and graduation's over, and for them to be here like this, it's just awesome. I mean, and when I took the job, I said something that I've believed since I was an assistant at Michigan State with Tom Izzo, is that every person in your building matters. And right now we're only 17, 18% capacity. Well, every one of those people matter. And when they're bringing that level of energy, they're bringing that level of noise, it just, and passion, it really makes our team better. Well, our team is closest to the action. So when our team is bringing that level of energy to one another, whether it's on the court or whether it's on the bench, and our guys respond to that. So that's a huge, huge thing for us. I thought they gained confidence and they just stayed extremely active and on the attack. As far as for Michael Starks, when he got hurt last Saturday, he has not recovered from that. We're dealing with that. I'm not sure on his status for Tuesday night. He has not practiced this week. He's been there every day, obviously, but he has not practiced this week. And he's dealing again with a lower body injury, and we just got to let it heal.
Coach, congrats on the win, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.